Hello comrades, Commissar bro here today with Windward. That's right, this is a first impressions video pretty much. I got the basic idea of how the game works down, and let me tell you, from what I've played so far, it's incredibly interesting. It's honestly, it's like a minimalist version of Sid Meier's Pirates that focuses purely on combat and so on and so forth, with randomly generated maps that are controlled by 4 factions. As you can see, they're basically denoted by their color. So red is Valiant, green is the Consulate, the yellow is Exchange, and blue is the Sojourn. Each one is good and does something or another, whatever. And I like Valiant because they're red. Red's, you know, like my favorite color, so why not? That's what we're going to play as. We're going to start in the red starting area. The climate is arid, as we can see. The temperature ranges between 25 Celsius to 36, blah, 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 blah. It's interesting. This is very interesting. So without further ado, let's get in the game. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the game. Keep in mind, players can actually join you while you're playing, which is really cool. So like my Steam friends, assuming one of them had this game, could actually join in, so on. But basically, it operates in a very similar fashion to Sid Meier's Pirates, you know, where you're basically sailing your boat around the Caribbean, so on and so forth. Oh shit! Looks like we got a baddie. Fire a volley, and they all missed. And the combat system is very, very simple. It's pretty much automated for the most part, like the firing is. However, ramming actually does damage, and you need to make sure to keep your opponent on the side so that the cannons can actually fire at them. Now, our ally here is probably going to kill this guy before we even get a few shots off. Or not. We still got a few in there. Yeah, that's right. That's right, you old punk ass. This is my house. And you can get quests and whatnot. As you can see, we have a quest here to hunt down a pirate called Dozier. Yeah, that guy. That's who we're going after. And here we have a little path to follow that shows us where to go. You can hire buddies who are part of your faction to help you fight in these battles. If you want to tell them to follow you, all you do is like set target here. And now all of our allies should turn around and come back and assist us in combat, which more than likely will probably need their help at some point. And it doesn't hurt to have a little backup when you go up against the big bad guys, right? Right. So, yeah, none of this is worth anything. We could sell these, though. What about these? Brass cannons? We can salvage those. We'll sell those for 100. We'll sell this for 100. What about this 10 ammunition? I guess we'll keep it. As you can see, weapons and guns have different stats, and each can be equipped. There's upgradable ships that you can get to. Right now, we're using just a sloop. However, we can upgrade to a sloop of war once we get enough money. And you can even go so far as to get a ship of the line. And look at that, you can even rename towns for 200 gold. This is pretty cool too. Again, if you actually think about this game being involved with other players, it can get pretty damn interesting with people basically creating their own towns and whatnot. The only drawback I actually feel from this game is the lack of like personality. That was kind of one of the big things about Sid Meier's Pirates that made it so much fun and made it such a memorable game, was the insane amount of character and personality that was just oozing out of the game. I mean, you have you're following basically a pirate named Incognito as he tries to find his sister. You meet all the greatest pirates in pirate history, and you know, you capture their ships. The ships have all these names, etc., etc. And like you see people on the boats walking around and whatnot. Hire this guy, come on, buddy. And you know, walking around in the boats, and you can change the view to get different views. You can get out of your boat and dig up treasure, etc., etc. There's a lot of stuff you can really do, and it kind of makes the game really memorable. This game, while the combat's actually a lot of fun, and the game itself is you know, it's incredibly solid. It is missing that personality component that Sid Meier's Pirate does so well. So, but honestly though, I highly recommend the game already. This is actually, I think it just got released today. And it's a lot of fun. I really like it. I like the whole level up mechanics, the talent mechanics. As you can see here, we have talents. You can get better at different things. This one's accuracy. This one gives you better mobility, etc., etc. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the game, and like I said, we're just in one tiny little area. We actually need to repair our boat. We're damaged. Repair it. That's right. Yeah, fix that boat, bitches. Yo, hey, come here. You're with me, buddy. But like I said, there's actually more to this whole map, as you can see. Each one of these squares is its own world, essentially. And like I said, we're just in this one right here because we're a lower level. I was trying to get to level 3 with 3 talents before I go and travel out to the more difficult regions in these dangerous waters here. So, yeah, again, this is a really cool game. It's a pretty, it's simplistic, no doubt about it. But the customization in the game, the combat, and the actual capturing mechanics and navigation are all really, I like it. It's all very well done. You can tell the developers put a lot of thought into this. They took a lot of inspiration from Sid Meier's Pirates, yet still had kind of an idea of what they were going for. And I would dare say this is probably one of the better pirate games I've played lately. I know a lot of people don't like Assassin's Creed, but I think Black Flag was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that one. And before that, I would say Sid Meier's Pirates. I mean, there's quite a few pirate games out there, but there's very few that are actually intuitive enough, that are actually fun enough, and that, to actually be worthy of playing to any degree. So, yeah. But anyway, this is basically the gist of the game that I'm going to show for now. I might continue a series out of it. If you guys would like to see that, just let me know. And we can make it a little bit more exciting, show some of the fighting, some of the biggest ships, etc., etc. Again, this is just the first tier ship, and this is really early on in the game. Like, we are nowhere in this game right now. Look, I'm leaving the region. I'm traveling. Oh, that's so cool. We just travel right through to a new region. So you don't even need to fast travel. That's really cool. I like that. So now we're exploring uncharted territory. Wow. It's little stuff like that, guys. It's little stuff like that. Anyway, like I said, this has been Commissar Bro. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more, just let me know. I'd be glad to show the game off a bit more and go more in depth with it. But I hope this has at least been helpful enough to help you make a decision on if you think it's worth getting or not. Again, from what I'm playing, I think it is. I think it's well worth the money, and I could see a lot of potential for this game in the future, especially with future updates and so on. I'd be kind of interested to see what they what do you mean it's not in view of your cannons? Fire the damn thing. There we go. Cause there's a hole in my cabin. That's right. Sink, you wee bastard. I wouldn't mind if they threw some voice actors in here, too. That'd be kind of interesting. Anyway, this has been CB, and I will see you guys later.